The following program is video supplemental instruction. VSI is brought to you by the Teaching Center, UF's Learning Support Center, www.teachingcenter.ufl.edu.
For number one, we're just asked why the series converges or diverges. So for this one, we have the series from n equals 1 to infinity of 4 over n factorial. So there's a multitude of different ways that you can show this one. You can pretty much use any of the tests except the root test. When you see a factorial, you might just think immediately ratio test. That's fine. In this case, you could actually use a comparison test pretty easily as well. For example, you could say that 4 over n factorial is always less than 4 over n squared for some n. Factorial is a much bigger function than n squared. Obviously, for the first couple of numbers, it doesn't work out that way. Once you get to n equals 4, though, factorial is always bigger than squared, so you could compare that as well. So that's a pretty simple way to do it. And since this converges by p-series, then this definitely converges because it's less than it. I'll just show it by ratio test as well. So ratio test, remember, you do the absolute value of a sub n plus 1 over a sub n. So a sub n plus 1 here is just going to be 4 over n plus 1 factorial times the reciprocal of a sub n, which is n factorial over 4. Your 4's cancel out. You have n factorial over n plus 1 factorial. Sorry, I forgot to write the limit as n goes to infinity out here. N plus 1 factorial is n plus 1 times n factorial. So we can write that. So the factorial is just the descending product anyway. These cancel out, and we're left with 1 over n plus 1. Limit as n goes to infinity of 1 over n plus 1 gives you 0. Remember that for the ratio test, if that number is less than 1, then it converges by ratio test. So there we go, we got 0. So this converges by ratio test. Like I said, you could have used comparison test as well. But in any case, this series converges.
The Teaching Center, UF's Learning Support Center, www.teachingcenter.ufl.edu.